Alright, hello once again. Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College, and as part of the Rankin Technical College AWD, or Application Website Development 1100 C# Programming online class for the summer 2023 session, I've been doing a series of videos where I'm going over some of the material in the chapters in the book, and I'm up to Chapter 10, which is on more skills for working with Windows forms and controls. So it says so far basically what we've worked with have been labels, text boxes, and buttons. And in this chapter we'll talk about some other controls such as combo boxes, list boxes, and I've shown you a list box before, check boxes and radio buttons, and group boxes, which we've also looked at before. The how to use the tab order, we've already been doing that for the entire semester, so nothing new there. How to get information you need for using a control, we'll look at that. We'll quickly look at a multi-form project. Alright, how to use the message box class, probably not much time on that because we've already been covering that. And then look at a payment app. So, they've got 5 more types of controls here, and let's take a look at what they have right here. In fact, let's, I don't know if we need to or not, but let's build this. So I'm going to bring up where I've got my tests. And the last test project that I created was, remember there have been several console projects, in particular about 4 or 5 of those, and there have been several GUI projects, again about 4 or 5 of those. It looks like the next one to create is test project 6. So again, this will be test project 6. And there it is. Alright, so taking a quick look at it. In fact, let me grab these that were open from an earlier time and make that a little bigger. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the book here and I'm going to make a copy of this. And let's go in and just highlight everything that's highlighted here. There we go. All right. So I've got that here. And let's bring that up here. There we go. All right. So taking this kind of, I guess, from the top. Looks like the first thing we have here is a group box with, we've got a group box with 2 different, let's see if we can do this again. There we go. So we've got a group box here, and it's got 2 radio buttons in it. So let's start with that. All right. So there's our group box. And again, it's going to have 2 radio buttons in it. Let's change some colors here so it's easier to see what's going on. All right, and let's change the color of the group box as well. Just make that white so it really sticks out. And then we're going to put a couple of radio buttons in here. There's one. And there's another. Okay, what else do we have in here? So that'll be for the credit card and the bill customer. Then we need a label followed by a list box and a label followed by a text box. First, let's make this a little thinner. Not too bad. All right, so we need a label. So there's our label, and it'll be followed by a list box. And we've got another label followed by a text box. There you go. And what else do we have in here? We've got a label and 2 combo boxes. We've got a checkbox. Did that have a label as well? Doggone it. I shouldn't have done that. No. Just a label. I'm sorry, a checkbox and then 2 buttons. All right, as we oftentimes do, let's start by changing the size of the text and everything here. I don't want to make this too big, so I'll make it 20. Bold, Arial. All right, and don't worry if it looks a little funky. We'll work on that in just a moment. All right, so what do we have here? Really, the first thing probably that we should do in here is rename things. Okay, so when you look in here again, let's take a quick look at what we have. Billing, credit card, bill customer. So there's billing, and then credit card and bill customer. Okay, probably could take this and make it a little bit bigger. There we go. All right, so this label here has got credit card type, and you know that's going to have to be made wider. Still isn't going to be wide enough, so let's make this smaller and move this over. Maybe that'll work. We'll see right now. So let's make this a little wider. Okay, and in here we've got a lot of choices. We can fill this up programmatically, but one of the easiest ways to do this, so let's put in here, let's change the name to LST credit card type. And what do we have here? We'll manually put them in right now. Visa, MasterCard, and American Express. So right here, I'm going to go to Items and type in Visa, MasterCard, and American Express. Click OK. There those are. Okay. What else do we have here? Card number. Let's take these here and let's write justify the text on all of those. Okay. All right, so all of this is done. So this right here were our two drop downs. So that's expiration date with select a month and select a year. And I'm going to do the same thing here. So this is going to be CBO expire month. Now I could, again, programmatically put this in, and I'm sure that's what they'll do in the book, but I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to do it this way, and that I'm going to come in and do this. I'm going to manually add them right now. And I believe at the top it said select a month. So let's put that in there as well. All right. So that is now filled up. It won't show right now, of course. Let me move this. I'm going to take this. I'm going to widen all of these out, or try to widen all of these out just a little bit here. Okay, this one is now screwed up, but that's okay. We'll fix that. This doesn't need to be that big, so that should work pretty well. Okay, so this is the month and this is the year. And again, I'm just going to, for now at least, manually put that in there. Put in like 10 years. That'll work. And then finally, we've got the checkbox in our buttons here. So this checkbox says set as default billing method. Okay, let me move these buttons down a little bit. Here. In fact, let's put in 3 of them like we have been doing. Alright, just the same way we have been doing this. I can make this a little wider. There we go. Doesn't look too bad. Alright, and as always, we will do a few things here. So we'll set our start position to center screen. As long as I've got this, I may as well come in here and lock my interface. There we go. And we will set our accept button to BTN calculate and our cancel button to BTN clear. We will also rename the form, right? And we're going to call this FRM new controls. Alright, and it's going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt here to set a tab word, but we're going to try. So let's see. We'll do that first. Then we'll do this. Then this. Then this. Then this. This. Like that. It might not be perfect, but it'll work. So let's do a file save all and take a quick look. Oh, forgot to tell it to run this program. We haven't put any code in here yet. There it is. We got this. Card number, expiration date, select a month. Okay. This should have said select a year, and it doesn't. And our checkbox does work. Okay, we're not doing anything at all. There's no code in here yet. So the only thing I want to do is come over here to the year where we've got our collection, and up on the top I want to put in here select a year. Okay, alright, that's a start. Alright, so jumping back into the book then, as it says here, a combo box, like we have right here, lets you select one option from a list. A list box shows you a bunch of options, and depending on how you set it up, you might be able to select one or select more. Alright, radio button select for mutually exclusive options, so you can only select one. And the group box is a container. The checkbox lets you select or deselect something. Alright. I'm going to pause for just a moment here. Alright, there's a little bit of noise here, so hopefully you won't hear too much in the background, but this just talks about the different stuff in here you've got for these. So for instance, selected index, selected items, text, items drop down. You can read these, but I think that we should just go through them and see if we can start filling this thing up based on what is in here. So for instance, here as it says is the code that loads the months into the combo box. And here's the one for the years. Okay? And let's see, so let's grab this. Make this a little bigger. Now, hopefully I didn't make any mistakes keying that in. All right, so I'm going to grab this. Whoops. I'm going to grab this, which is designed to fill up that combo box. And where I'm going to add that, first of all, let me get rid of the months that are in here. So it's CBO expire month. I think that's what I called it in the code. So let me come in here and remove all these. So I'm going to come in here where it's got items. And I'm going to remove everything that's in there. So it's now empty. All right, and then I'm going to come in and I'll put it in here, which is inside of the form load event. Okay, and then I'll need to put a semicolon there, and that's why, whoops, that's why I'm getting that error. Semicolon. There we go. Move this for each over. Let's move this down. I'll put this over more lines than I am right now. Do it like that. Not spaced the best, but I think that'll work. So let's save this and run it and see if we filled that up correctly. There it is. All right, they're all in there. That's good. Good start. And then we can do the same type of thing for the year. So it loads the years combo box. So let's get that for in just a minute. I'm going to use a year plus 9 instead of a year plus 10. It's no biggie. Alright, so that's the code to fill in the year text box. So let's come in here and again, come over to here, and this is where we had filled it in previously. So let's get into that items collection. You can see those are the values that are in there. I'm removing them all. And again, right in here, inside of the same thing, my form load. This has to be pushed over. So do these. And all of these. There we go. Now we added that. Don't worry, we're gonna if there are errors here, we'll fix them all right away. All right, and I might have a problem with a curly brace here. I may be missing one. No. All right, something's goofed up, but we're going to fix it. Okay, it's already getting a little bit fixed. Year, end year. So that was CBO. I did an expire month. I must not have named the other one. Is that not named? Yes, it is not named. So that should be CBO expire year. Okay. So now we've got CBO expire year. Okay. All right, so what am I missing here? I am missing curly right there. All right, so let's see now if I filled up both the year and the month. There's the month, and there's the year. Notice that select a year. This isn't wide enough. It's no biggie. It really isn't. We can if we want to. Let's unlock our controls, make this wider. I'm going to leave these here, all these, but I'm going to stretch this one out. I know that looks a little wonky, but okay. I mean, if we want, we can stretch these out as well. It's not going to really matter. If you like how that looks better, that's fine. And move that over as well. There. Now let's see what it looks like when we run it as far as in here and in here. So select a month and they will all fit. And select a year and they will all fit. Okay, I guess that looks a little bit better. All right. Let's see. Let's come in and let's think about this. We don't want this checked, and we don't want this checked when the program starts. We don't want any of those showing. This should be empty. This should say select a month, and this should say select a year, and this shouldn't be checked. That is when we click the clear button. All right, so we'll look at that in just a minute and our exit. Now this will be exit program or not. Just a name I came up with. Maybe it's a dumb name. I don't know. but let's code our exit button in here. Okay, so that should now be working. And again, with our clear, we'll just call clear controls. Okay, so first, let's see, we will have our radio buttons. Rad bill customer dot checked equal false. Rad, the other one was credit card dot checked equal false. So let's see if those work. So file, save all. I've got errors. Let's fix the errors. We forgot a semicolon. All right. So right now that is checked, but if I click clear, it's not checked. Right now that is checked. If I click clear, neither are checked. Okay, we've got that. It's a start, not much of a start, but it's a start. Now with our list box, I don't know if there's anything we have to do for that. We want this to be empty. We want this to say select a month and that to say select a year. So that's our TXT credit card number. So that'll be empty. Our combo box. That's good. In fact, I'm going to grab both of these and also put those into our form load event that we used before in here. Okay. So let me do a file save all. Notice it now says select a month and select a year. All right, we will highlight that one, click on there, put some junk in there, in there, in there, and I'm going to click clear. That cleared, that did, this didn't, these did. So I have to worry about the list box and the check box. Let's see. So I want no radio buttons, that. We want that to be unchecked. And want everything. Well, we don't want it cleared. That's going to remove everything. I don't think we want to do anything here. Is there a checked? I don't know if we want to do anything here, so I'm going to leave this off. Also, what I'm going to do is in here, okay, this is where we set up everything, but I'm not going to do this. I'm going to call clear controls right here. So let's see what it looks like now when we run it. All right, everything is set. That should have been cleared and it wasn't, but that's okay. So clear, that does clear everything. Okay, and our exit should be now working. So inside of here, red credit card check, they should both be false, so neither one of those should be showing. Okay. Trying to figure out why at the beginning the one is being checked, so let's look in here and see. On here, I'm going to make sure that this, the checked, is false, and on here, the checked is false. So why it's showing with that true, I don't know. Everything's working in the clear, though. The only thing that's not working is that. We'll take a look at that in a moment. So what I'm showing you here is I'm starting to just go through this. So here's the code that clears the list box. And it adds them as opposed to the way I added them. We can do that too. All right. I want to see how far I'm getting time-wise here. LST type dot items dot. Let me copy this a bunch of times. What I just did there, I don't know. So we want that, looks like 5 times. So this will be clear. Add Visa. Add MasterCard. Add American Express. And finally, all right. So we're going to go back into here. And again, I'm going to go into here and I'm going to go into my items and I'm going to remove everything that was in there. All right. And I think I'm going to clean this up a little bit too. And you'll, if you don't know what I mean, you will in a minute. I don't think I have to redraw that every time. I'm going to put that here. All right, that's all been fixed. So let's see if I've got my things back in here. There they are, and that's all good. Let's call routines to do this. So this is going to be called fill expire month, and I'll put that right down here. All right, so that's done. Then we will fill expire year. And we'll grab all of this. We'll put that right down here. Okay. And then we'll do fill list box. Okay. Now what we did was we really cleaned up what we're doing in our form load event. We're just calling methods in there. I think that's a lot cleaner. All right. So nothing should have changed. Okay. Still all looks the same. But like I said, to me at least, it's a little bit cleaner than it was. Okay. All right. This will get information. This will work with a combo box of names. Okay. So I'm going to put this in my calculate. There's still stuff I'm going to have to do, but that's okay. So let's see if I come back into here and I go into my calculate. Which is right here. I'll call display all values, which I didn't write yet. Okay, the good news is that right now at least it appears as though I have one. Okay, why do I have that error? EXP year value. Int. Selected items, question mark, -1. Well, I'll have to fix that one because there's definitely an error in there. So for now, we'll just comment it out and we'll fix it. So we do a file, save all. And there is what we've been working on. So let me go back up to here. I'll look at that one in just a bit. All right. How to work with checkboxes and radio buttons. It's the checked. All right, literally. Okay. Now we're going to look at this check changed in just a moment, but I'm going to stop right here because we're already 45 minutes in, and we'll continue this in part 2.